Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Real Review with John Thomas. I'm going to be talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 5. So we're getting into it. But before I really get into all of that, make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe button and hit the notification bell if you're on YouTube. Just leave a comment. Let me know what you think so far. Let me know what you think about episode 5, about where we are so far with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And again, before I get into all of that, let me hear that intro.
It's the real review. It's the real review. It's the real review.
Yeah, it is the real review. So, again, welcome back, everybody. I appreciate it. I am your host, John F. Thomas, as I'm going to really go into all of this in glorious fashion. But before I really get into all of that, I want you to know that this is a spoiler review. So if you haven't watched episode 5 yet, save this video, come back, and then we'll talk about episode 5 once you watch the episode. But again, this is a spoiler review. And for those who are watching, if you're watching live and you want to catch this later, or you don't have time to watch it on your lunch break or whatever, you're hanging out with friends, I do have this in podcast form too. So it's Real Review, basically this logo here with John F. Thomas, Real Review with John F. Thomas. And you can find me on your podcast and, leave a review, let people know that it's amazing, it's awesome, tell your friends about it. Because, this is going to be a great show now and going forward. So you want to let your friends know about it. Anyway, so let's get into the story of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5. So as we last left off from episode 4, John Walker lost his mind. He lost his friend, and his friend didn't have no business being there, Lamar. And Lamar got his back broken by Carly, and John Walker was pissed. He was upset. And so he went after the Flag Smashers as they ran off because he was rightfully so upset. And he caught one of the Flag Smashers. It wasn't Carly. And he started beating that person to death. But the messed up thing was, well, one, there was the wrong person that you were trying to target. And two, there was a lot of civilians around that they had their cell phones and they were filming. They were filming the whole thing. Oh, look what Captain America's doing. He's killing somebody. And a dude is like saying, no, please, it wasn't me. And it's just ugly. So going from that, I was trying to figure out, like, okay, so what's going to happen now? Like, Sam and Bucky going to come up, hey, man, you got to, like, is he just going to start? I don't know, because there's blood on the shield at this point, and it looks bad. It was a great way to end off episode 4. But we see this episode where John is running off. And he's freaking out and he's thinking about his friend dying, and he's thinking about what his friend said and, taking the serum and all of this stuff. And he just has a lot going on in his head right now, and he's stressed out. But Sam and Bucky, they come and they walk up and they're trying to talk to him like, hey, man, you got to turn in the shield, because what you did was messed up. But John says, hey, man, they're terrorists, I killed the terrorists and blah, blah, blah. And, like they understand because they do stuff. But, they were just saying, hey, this is just turn yourself into America and explain to them what happened. And they can probably go lenient on you. But in John's mind, because he's going through a lot and he's kind of crazy anyway. But he was just like, oh, no, I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to get my shield. This is all for the shield, huh? So Bucky is basically like, yeah, we're going to get that shield. So basically, run me that shield. And John isn't going. So it's a big fight scene. And man, this fight scene right here, I mean, it was a great way to start off like with action. So that was great. But this fight scene, it was just okay. So I said, I know what y'all thought I was going to say. I'm like, oh man, this fight scene was no, it was dope. It was dope. But this is my problem with this fight scene. Bucky was struggling too much. It's like Bucky is supposed to be this real bad. That's been my problem this entire season of this thing. Bucky's supposed to be a badass. Why is he struggling against John Walker? And I mean, don't get me wrong, John Walker is probably a good fighter and stuff like that. But Bucky was taking on the Avengers basically by himself, in a sense. He was taking on Steve Rogers as Captain America, and Captain America is the shit in a sense. So he was taking on him, beating Steve Rogers, giving him trouble, taking on Black Widow. And Black Widow is just like the martial arts almost like a master. I ain't gonna say she a master, but you know, she's badass. And so, and this dude is struggling with John Walker. Who is this guy? Who is he? Why are you struggling with? But see, I see why they were doing it. I see why they're doing it. I mean, this was a great fight scene. Don't get me wrong. This fight scene was really good. So I'll definitely give them that. But I see why they were doing it, to draw more sympathy to Bucky and to also make, you know, it's more interesting if he's struggling, right? It's more interesting if he's struggling. So, you know, that's the only part I didn't like. Monica, who was watching, she says, she left a comment saying that Bucky forgets to use his left arm. LOL, he's right-handed. Oh, yeah, there was a joke he mentioned later on. He was like, I'm right-handed. So, but yeah, Bucky's over here struggling. But, you know, it was a really great fight scene. They were like really going at it. And like, again, I felt like this could have been better. But I mean, just in the sense of Bucky should have been really giving it to John a lot more than he was. But it was still cool. I mean, Bucky's the guy. He's cool. He's nice. So, but you know, John was making a fight for it, and Sam, who was kind of getting his butt whooped here and there, as I expected, because I was just like, bro, you're not a super soldier, and you're taking on this dude who is a super soldier, and he's willing to kill you. So, but it was a good fight scene, though. You know, you saw Sam being smart. He was using his wings to try to fly out here and there. He got his wings broken by John Walker, so it was like, dang. So now you're grounded. You can't fly. But they were still fighting, trying to get, and John got some close calls, almost killing Sam, doing the same thing he did to the Flag Smasher, but Bucky saved him last second. And Bucky's arm looked like it got busted because John threw him up against the wall and his arm went on the fritz for a second. And anyway, long story short, they tag teamed John because in this scene, he was like trying to, I guess, squish Bucky or whatever. But Sam came, grabbed his arm that was holding the shield and used his jetpack to try to pull the shield off his arm, broke his arm in the process. Ooh, I didn't think they were going there. But I mean, there's a few places that Marvel went that I didn't think they were really going, but broke his arm, and that's how they basically ended up beating him. So Bucky got Sam shook, because Sam was tired at that point. He was exhausted. And yeah, because you're not a super soldier. But it was admirable, because it's like, man, you're going into a fight and you're better equipped in this fight than Lamar was. May he rest in peace. So yeah, so that was a really good fight scene. It was it was cool, and now the shield is back in the Avengers' hands, as it should be. It's great. So now John is in custody in America, and he's facing trial. So basically, after that, we see the next scene that Sam is talking with Bucky about Carly, because now they don't know where Carly is. They're trying to figure out what's her next move, because now with all of this going on, she is in hiding now, and and she kind of it's complicated, her relationship with Sam, because she knows Sam's a good guy, but also there's John Walker out there that was trying to kill her. So, and she got power broke after her, so she's laying super low. So now they're having to wait, but Sam's trying to talk to Bucky about it. Bucky isn't really responding. Torres, Lieutenant Torres, or whatever his rank is, he comes in and talks to Sam, and Bucky just leaves. He's just like, I have other things to do. I don't know if he's upset about they had to do all of this and get the shield back at Sam. I don't really know why Bucky wasn't really talking, but Bucky just left. And so Sam and Torres are talking, and basically Torres is saying that, okay, I'll be trying to see if I can find something from her. What's this? And this basically, he pulls out, he sees Sam's wings that are broken, and Sam is just like, keep them. And he takes the shield, which is like, okay, finally Sam has the shield. So is he going to accept having the shield now? What? We don't know. So we fast forward to now, we are where John Walker is at his hearing. So he's at this hearing at the U.S. His arm is in a sling, and he is trying to explain what he was doing. And the guy who basically, I think, gave him the shield, he doesn't want to hear it. And he's telling him, no, you're not Captain America anymore. We're not going to arrest you, but we are going to strip you of your rank, of your honors. So all of this stuff, you're not going to have that moving forward. And John is just like, hey, man, I did all this for y'all. Everything I did, you're trying to break me down, but you created me. This is the reason why I'm here, because of y'all. And I was just like, he's right. Yes, correct. And the girl from the beginning of the episode, I don't know if that was his girlfriend. It's the light skinned black girl on his left, on or your right, but his left. So she was sitting there and looking sad and all that stuff. And I was just like, well, who is she? Because I never really understood. Because remember, we saw her trying to give him a little pep talk before he became Captain America. Then we saw Lamar come in and, I didn't know if, like, is she his friend, his girlfriend, wife? Like, what is it? But after they basically tell him, like, hey, you're no longer Captain America, and they kick him out. Well, he just walks out at that point, and he goes and sits in the hallway, and the girl goes and tries to talk to him. And then from that point, we see a familiar face, not in the show, not in the MCU in period, but a familiar face if you watch Seinfeld, if you watch Deep. But we see, I forgot her name in Seinfeld, but what is this woman's name? Excuse, because it's a tough name. I want to get it right. But the actress is Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Louis Dreyfus. I don't know. I'll say Louis. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She is Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine. And call her Val, but don't call her Val. So, like, what? Call her Val in your head, I guess, but don't call her Val verbally. Anyway, she comes and interrupts, sits with him, and just scooches in between. She's a character, right? So she scooches in between him and the girl. And she's telling him, like, hey, look, basically, I want to hire you because you are a valuable asset. Once you took the serum, you became a valuable asset to a lot of people. So I want to go ahead and Elaine. That's it. Thank you, Monica. Monica's Elaine. I think her name is Elaine from Seinfeld. Yeah. So because I'm my mind can only go so far. So thank you. So my beautiful fan / assistant Monica helped out. I have to get some money so I can pay you some kind of way. Thank you. But yeah. So she was Elaine in Seinfeld. But she came up and she was talking to him. And basically, she's trying to recruit him, saying that once he took that serum, he became a valuable asset to a lot of people. And now we find out that this is his wife. And I don't know, maybe if y'all knew, did y'all know that this was his wife the whole time? Did y'all know that? Because that wasn't explained that this was his wife. And I wish that I would have known that. They're like, who is this? I'm just guessing. This is the 5th episode in, and there's only 6 episodes. And I'm just now finding out that this is his wife. Like, what is happening here? So she's basically gives the wife the card, basically to get her to shut up. She's like, who are you in? And she was just like, I'm not going to repeat myself because I already said my name. She said she don't like repeating herself. So she gives the wife the card and basically tells him, hey, I'll keep in touch. Like, don't worry about the shield. I know you don't have it, but, like, it's not the government's property anyway. And Monica says, I thought she was his girl. Exactly. I thought that was his girl too, or just because at first I thought it was like, oh, that's just a friend, because they never explained it. So to me, that's bad. That's bad writing and that's bad storytelling. So out of all this time, I shouldn't be finding out on episode 5 that this is his wife. And I didn't know who she was to this guy, and exactly. I thought that was his girl too. So I don't know. We find out that's his wife, and as she walks off, actually, I'm going to show you the picture, but she walks off, and the wife gives John Walker the card. John Walker looks the card over, and it's black on one side, white on the other side. He was like, "There's no name on it. There's nothing on it. Like, how do I even reach out to this woman?" But she said she was going to reach out to him, so don't worry about it. But the interesting thing about this character is that Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine is a character in Marvel Comics, and she has a connection. What makes her interesting, outside of her giving this vague, like, hey, I got a job for you, basically kind of thing, she is connected in a sense to Nick Fury, as in being Nick Fury's only love interest, like his true, like, the only woman Nick Fury ever really loved. And so this is interesting, as we don't know if she has this deep connection. She probably will have some kind of connection with Nick Fury, but who knows? Maybe Nick Fury is like, oh, she's back. That'll be interesting because she's a character. Nick Fury can be a character because Sam Jackson is a great guy. But who knows how this can buzz? So either they can really have that relationship, or it can be something else. Because in the comics, supposedly she has a history of being like, she's a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then really she's working for Hydra, and she's called Madam Hydra. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows where this is going for? Who knows? Actually, somebody suggested this could be like a Suicide Squad thing, Marvel's version of Suicide Squad, where it's kind of like like she's recruiting some questionable characters, which that'll be cool. It'd be cool to see Marvel have a Suicide Squad, which is also sad because it's like they're seeing what DC is doing and they're like, hey, let's see if we can do it better. I'm a DC fan, so that hurts, even with me saying that. And so I guess I again, I don't know. I'm not saying that this is actually going to happen. I'm just giving you that info. I know Monica come in and get out. She can't believe what I just said. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting going forward. I don't really care that much because this isn't really that huge of a player. I mean, she probably will be going forward, but she's not that huge of a player for me as in regards to Marvel Comics terms. She's a character. But like really, like what I want to see some big names right now. I want to see Fantastic Four, even though I don't like Fantastic Four that much, Fantastic Four or X-Men or something. I want to see something big. But this could be a small little Easter egg to something big because that scene was important. They showed this scene for a reason. So this might be him on his way to becoming U.S. agent. So cool. I'm with it. So anyway, moving forward from that, you see Sam going back to his sister, going to his nephews, and he's going to go work on the boat. And I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, I wonder how they were gonna. Oh no, actually, he doesn't do that yet. He does. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. He goes to meet with Isaiah because he had the shield, right? And it's like, yeah, he has a shield. So now they're connecting everything back together because it's just like you can't just show Isaiah and not give that context. So he goes and he finds Isaiah. He talks to Isaiah's grandson. I think that's who it is. But anyway, and the grandson kind of gives a soft threat because he's like, I'm looking for Isaiah. He's like, oh, he's in the back. He was like, all right. So he was like, yeah, I'll be there. And it's just kind of like, he's like, oh, but cool. Like, whatever. All right, kid. So, but also that's cute. He's protective of his grandfather. Man, rightfully so. Anyway, he goes and he talks with Isaiah. And surprisingly, Isaiah isn't really upset. He's back there watering flowers. And he was, he was like, oh, is that what I think it is? And it's Cap's shield. And so he tries to open it up and leave. He's like, nope, no, I don't even want to see it. He like basically keep it. So as they start talking, he was like, I just want to know like why, like what was a turning point, like what happened, so he just wants to know why. So Isaiah basically ends up telling him that, look, man, I got, testing on and me and a whole bunch of other people. And it basically takes them down a history lesson of just America. It's like, they never really appreciated what Black people do, Black men, Black women, like whatever, they never appreciate what you do. And he was saying that some of the people who were tested were trapped behind enemy lines. And instead of going to save them, they were thinking of just blowing up the evidence, just dropping a bomb for these prisoners of war. And not even trying to save them, but destroying any evidence of them, because they don't want that getting into the enemy's hands or whatever. And Isaiah was upset because, he doesn't really mention that they're Black, but we might as well, yeah, they're Black. They tested all these Black men and tried to see if the serum worked on them or not. But they were just going to leave them behind. But all of them were unstable, I guess, except for Isaiah. Isaiah was the only one that wasn't unstable. And he was captured too, I think. And because there was a lot of stuff going on they were talking about. But he decided to go against their wishes and go and save them. And he saved them, even though I think they ended up dying anyway, I guess because of the serum, and them being unstable, they died regardless, not being able to withstand that, which that was sad. Like this was a very serious, very needed and sad conversation just to show like, hey man, like this is America. To reference Childish Gambino, this is America. And it really hit a somber tone, but a needed tone. And basically, he ended up just telling me, he was like, man, America would never let a Black person end up becoming Captain America. And even if they did, like they basically wouldn't accept it. And he was like, that person, no self-respecting Black man would even want to do that. And so you can see Sam's eyes kind of go up like, what? Don't say that. I love America. It was like, I love America. Don't say that about America. That's not the America I know. Because I mean, and I get it. I mean, it's a very political tone, and I'm interested. I'm surprised they went there. And also, Isaiah touched on that his wife. They told his wife that he was dead, even though he was alive, and he was locked up in prison for 30 years. They tested on him just to see why it worked on a black man, or how it worked on a black man, the serum. And it's just messed up, man. And he showed the scars of them constantly testing him, constantly pricking him, constantly sticking him. And it was just it was very sad. And he was receiving letters from his wife, but they never gave it to him. And his wife died without him ever getting to see her, without him ever saying, "Hey, honey, I love you," without him hugging and holding his wife. It was, yeah, exactly. And Travis commented, and the scene was heavy. And yeah, man, the scene was real heavy, man. And it sucked because it's like, who doesn't want to be connected with their loved one? Like, I'm locked up. I'm doing all the stuff that y'all wanted me to do. And that connects back to John Walker, which I know a lot of people are giving John Walker a lot of crap. And maybe he went about things wrong for sure. But, you know, that kind of connects back. It's like, hey, man, I did a lot for you, and this is how you repay me for what I've done for you. And they locked this man up. He wasn't able to see his wife, told his wife that he died, and they never gave him the letters, but he got the letters. Like, basically, there was a person that took pity on him, and they, I guess, lied to say that he died, I guess, because of the testing and stuff like that. So I'm guessing, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, everybody's watching, that's the reason why he was able to kind of have his life, because the government thinks he's dead. So he's able to live in peace. And Sam is just like, well, we need to get this story out. And he just like, nah, man, just let me stay dead, because, you know, I have my peace, and I don't want that. I don't want them coming to find me. I don't care about all that. I gave so much to America, and I don't even care if America has changed, you know, basically. And I was sitting there thinking, like, you know, what's interesting. I was like, okay, so how at this point, why would Sam want to pick up the shield from this point? What would make him want to pick up the shield? And which, you know, just kind of fast forward to later on when he's talking with his sister, Sarah, I think that's her name, that he was just like, you know, well, he sacrificed and gave so much that I keep getting knocked down. I have to get back up, and I'll pick up the shield. And I was just like, I get it. I don't know if that's a good enough reason to wear the shield, and I don't know, but also I don't want to get too political. I'm not even trying to get too political in this in general. But, you know, it's just like, I mean, what Isaiah said was kind of right. It was like, man, no self-respecting black man would want to stand. What, so y'all can sit here and blame stuff on a black man, but when the white man does it, they get a pass? Because I think I read something where somebody mentioned that even, I think maybe in Captain America, the first Avenger, he went against the wishes of the government and saved some people, and they didn't lock him up for 30 years. So it's just like, dang. So I don't know. I mean, but I give Marvel credit for going deep with this. But I mean, even though they didn't go as deep as they could, because I think if it was DC, let me get my little DC plug. If it was DC, they would have went deeper, you know, and it probably would have really raised some good questions and stuff like that. But I'm giving oh, what's up? I see Bobby in here. Bobby commented, caught you live. What's up, Bobby? Thanks for tuning in. Everybody that's watching, please hit the like button, and I thank you for leaving your comments and share this so that other people can see it. But yeah, I think Marvel did a good job going there. I don't know if they did such a great job going so deep, or like basically with the reasoning why Sam is taking up the shield. But, you know, whatever. I mean, it's Marvel. I can't ask too much of that. I mean, it's basically it's like them saying enough to allow white people to feel comfortable. It's like, hey, we acknowledge it. We acknowledge what happened, but okay, that's about it. Okay, moving on. Take up the shield. Hooray, Captain America. Things are different. And it's like, yeah, but no. I mean, no. So, I mean, and most of the black people watching, they know things ain't too much different. The same stuff's been going on. But again, I'm not trying to get too political. Good job, Marvel. Good job with at least tackling the issue or talking about it. Anyway, fast forward now. Okay, Sam goes to see his sister and his nephews, and he's trying to help at this point sell the boat. He's giving in, and he's just like, you know what, let's sell this boat. And he finds out from his nephews that, man, we can't even sell the boat. And but Bobby had another comment before I continue. Half the writers are white and multi-race. It's solid for what it is. Exactly, it's solid. I can't ask too much. Again, this is Marvel. like again, if it was DC, because DC typically really goes deep. DC asks really tough questions that a lot of superhero shows don't. So this isn't DC, so I shouldn't expect DC stuff from Marvel. So I mean, but for what it is, I'm surprised Marvel is going this deep. So I got to give them kudos for that. So kudos Marvel for doing that. But anyway, so Sam goes and he finds out from his nephews that the person who basically is looking at their boat and tries to see what the value is. He's like, man, y'all can't sell this boat. And the boat is unsellable. It's a crap boat. So Sam is just like, man, you know what? All right. And he's like, wait, my sister wants to sell it. All right, cool. So okay, let's see if we can call in some favors from our parents. And he calls all these people that because their parents helped out so many people in their lives and all this stuff. I don't know what the favors were. I don't know if it was money to help improve the boat. I don't know if it was, hey, that's giving fish or whatever tools and stuff like this. Anyway, he's working on the boat and all of this stuff. But before we get too far with that, we got to go back to where's Zemo? Where is Zemo in all of this? Zemo is in Sokovia somewhere at the Sokovia Memorial. He's not somewhere, but he's at the Sokovia Memorial. And when Bucky walked off, that's where Bucky went. Bucky went to find Zemo. Now, this is where I need, for y'all watching, I need y'all help because maybe I missed something. But when Bucky came up to Zemo, I'm pretty sure I heard Zemo say something like something about killing Bucky. Like, I decided not to kill you. And it's just like, wait, what? Because I was like, what are you talking about? Or maybe Bucky said that. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure Zemo said that to Bucky. So, and Zemo also said that, I thought you would have gotten here sooner, gotten to me sooner. And I was just like, wait, so if Zemo said this, then does it mean that Zemo can override Bucky if he really wanted to? Like, there is something in his coding that even though like he got control, but maybe Zemo can still there's this one word you didn't know, because Zemo is smart. Zemo is very tricky. So maybe he wanted Bucky to think, oh yeah, I can't control you unless I really, really, really want to control you. So if that's the Zemo, see, I thought so. Okay, Travis said that he said it. I thought he said, because I was just like, dude, I sat up in my chair when he said it. I said, wait, huh? I was like, wait, what? And so, okay, I was just like, man, okay, I think Zemo knows something. So a lot of people saying, yeah, Zemo said that. And Bobby said, Zemo said, okay. So I know I wasn't crazy. Thank you. I'm not crazy. So so I'm thinking, and let me know what y'all think. That's what I think. I think Zemo potentially knows something. Because honestly, like, how can you kill Bucky? Bucky, in a sense, is a badass. Bucky's strong. How are you going to be able to kill him, right? You know what I'm saying? If Bucky been having you in control this whole time, unless that's what Zemo wanted him to think, that Bucky had him under control, but he didn't. So that's an Easter egg that, if they follow up with that, that's crazy, because it's like, okay, Bucky thinks he has control, but he doesn't, and that's messed up. Anyway, long story short, Bucky, he tries to tell Bucky, like, hey, so Carly, this Carly situation, she's a lost cause. I tried to tell Sam doesn't want to believe me, and she has to be taken out. So basically he's trying to extend the olive branch to like, hey, let's kill her. And Bucky's just like, nah, we're gonna do it our way. And so he's like, yeah, I'm afraid you're gonna say this. So I was wondering if Zemo was gonna do something, but then Bucky pulled up the gun, put it in his face, and pulled the trigger, which Zemo jumped. And I was just like, either this is really, really, really good acting on behalf of Zemo, or Zemo is like talking a lot of game, but he can't really back it up sometimes. So he just like, how people be talking crap, but then they realize when you meet them, on it, like, all right, so you talking all this stuff. So what's up? And then it's like, oh, wait, I didn't know you was gonna get in my face like that. No, I was just playing, So I don't know. So it's like either Zemo is that way, or Zemo is really, 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 really playing the weakling to like playing like a possum, like playing dead, playing coy in a sense, just to make you think that he's a weakling, but he's really not in a sense. So I don't know. Zemo, I had to watch that guy. And Travis commented, said that could be why the Dora Milaje said he should stay away from Wakanda for now. Bucky? But why? That's what I'm thinking they don't want, because, okay, anyway, after Bucky pulled the trigger, let me get back. So Bucky pulled the trigger, and it was an empty clip. And so Zemo jumped, and then we saw Bucky drop the bullets that he had in the gun on the ground. And then Dora Milaje walked up and basically said, we got it from here. We're going to take him. They're not going to take him back to the jail that he was, but they're going to take him somewhere else. I think that's where Falcon and other people were held, basically where the strongest and most dangerous criminals are held. They're taking him there. And the doorman, Ayo, was talking to him and basically said, hey, with this, you probably want to lay low, in Wakanda. And I was just kind of thinking like, oh, is it because he let Zemo free and the Wakandas are like pissed off at him? So, I mean, if that's the case, then I get it. But Bobby is coming and saying, all I know is Zemo don't want no smoke with the Wakandan Dora Milaje. I don't know. It was close. You kind of had it right. Close enough. You got the first part right, the Dora part right. But that is that's interesting. So they just told him to lay low, don't really come in Wakanda for a little bit. And Bucky was just like, cool, I can deal with that. But he also asked, hey, before you go, I got a favor. Can you do something for me? One last favor. And I was sitting there thinking, I wonder if this is connected with Sam. We'll see. So moving forward from there. So now going back to Sam, he's working on the boat. Bucky comes over and starts helping, and they kind of start talking and all this stuff. And Bucky sees Sarah, and he introduces himself to Sarah, and now he's smitten, or he's a player, one of the two. But I think he's smitten. But he likes a little chocolate, so he sees Sarah. He just like, okay, he like what he see. And I was sitting there thinking like, okay, that's funny and that's a little cute. Also, I was sitting there thinking like, dang, what happened to the old girl that the old dude tried to hook you up with? You just left her. She's still at the store. She just been wondering what happened. He left, and she thought she had a good date. So he just like, nah, I like the sisters better, So anyway, that was interesting. So as they were talking, he brought him like, hey, I got this case from the Wakandans. Was like, okay, so that was for Sam. So Sam is looking at it. He's about to open it, but they don't really open it yet. Fast forward to they're at Sam's house, and Sam is like training with the shield, but they're kind of like just throwing it against the trees and throwing it in his bounces. It goes to Bucky. Bucky throws it, bounces back to Sam, and as they're talking, and Sam basically asks him like, Bucky basically apologizes to Sam. On behalf of him and Steve, saying, hey, look, I didn't really understand, because I guess Sam caught him up with the whole Isaiah situation. I didn't really understand what it meant to you as a black man in America, taking up the shield and all of that, the history, the complex history with that. We apologize about that, because we just thought it was like, hey, just take the shield, which I was like, okay, that's some good writing. I appreciate that. Acknowledging that. The struggle with I just can't step up into a role like you can. I have to consider all these different things. And Sam ends up asking him, like, man, do you still have nightmares? And Bucky is just like, yeah, all the time. And then he just tells him what he's having issues with, which was cool. And I really do appreciate them really coming together and having that bro moment. The only thing that was weird to me was how easy it was for him just to come out and say, yeah, man, yeah, all the time. And it's just like, dude, it was like people were pulling teeth to try to get you to answer some questions. The therapist was pulling teeth to try to get you to answer questions. When Sam was trying to talk to you, you just stare at him and just look at him and don't say nothing. And all of a sudden, again, because this is the second to last episode, they don't have much time to really go through this. And I think this is bad writing and bad storytelling in a sense of where it wasn't that smooth of a natural progression, to where it's like there's not much resistance. It makes sense that there was a little resistance, where it's just like, nah, I'm here and there. And Sam was just like, come on, man, like, be real. Like, it's me. Like, are you having nightmares? And Bucky's just like, yeah, all the time. So like that would make more sense, just because that's normal, that's human. Like, why would I just open up to you? Like, I can see Bucky opening up that easily to Steve, but to Sam, not like that, because they haven't really grown. But anyway, whatever. I'm not the writer on the show, but I'm just critiquing it. Bobby comments saying, Bucky out here dating Asian women and hitting on black women. All the time in Wakanda has him leaving white women alone. I guess so. I didn't think about that. He was in Wakanda, so maybe he's like, hey man, the chocolate, all right now. I like what I see, So so he want a little chocolate chip cookie up in there. So dip her cookie in his milk, if you understand what I'm saying. But anyway, so they were talking and they have that bonding bro moment. And that was cool. So Bucky's just like, and Sam like, hey, I want to give you a hard truth. You're like, man, the hard work that you have, do it. Do the hard work. don't just what you've been doing is you think you've been like helping yourself, but you just been avenging, what you've been trying to do, like locking people up. But if you really want to help people, be a servant, be of service to the people that you've hurt. And that reminded me of the old dude, and you can see Bucky's face, good acting, to where he was just kind of like, man, I don't want to do it because it's a heavy thing that he's asking to do. But he was saying it's tough work, it's hard work, but do it. And that's what Bucky needed to hear. And so Bucky appreciated that they have the little bro class moment, and then they're going about their business. Now from this point, actually, from this point, that Sam goes on a workout montage, so. And he starts working with the shield. He's throwing the shield. He's trying to catch the shield. The shield is like flying over his head. He can't catch it. And I was sitting there thinking, like, the funny thing about this is y'all just showed us that that Sam didn't have an issue throwing and catching the shield, but now he's having an issue throwing and catching the shield. I just want to point that out. I don't know if I was a lot. That didn't make sense to me. Monica is commenting saying that a lot of info is going to be rushed in the last episode. Yeah, I feel like they're going to do kind of like the same thing with WandaVision. And it's the pacing. The pacing isn't really as good as it could be, but, whatever. But I agree, Monica. I do agree. So in this scene where Sam and Bucky, they were throwing a shield back and forth off of the trees and catching it, he didn't have any issue. But now that he's like, okay, now I'm going to train to be Captain America. And he's throwing the shield and, he's missing. It's flying over his head. Oh, it went too fast and he can't catch it. And I was just like, okay, I guess. And then he goes to jog. He jogs a few times. And he does some push-ups. He does push-ups because now he has to get in shape to be Captain America. You gotta do some push-ups, the workout montage. I gotta jog, gotta do the Rocky montage. I gotta do all and he was like throwing the shield and then randomly doing like some what is the name of it? It's I forgot the fighting style, but he was doing like some flips. He was flipping and trying to catch the shield. And I was just like, why is he doing all this extra flip stuff? I mean, maybe he's like imagining somebody attacking him and he's trying to jump over the kicks. Capoeira. He was doing like Capoeira moves, throwing the shield, doing a Capoeira move, and then trying to catch the shield. But after the montage, he finally starts catching it. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, okay, for you to really, really, really get into the shape that you need to be to become Captain America, how you need like maybe like a year of training or a few months of training. But how long was this? Was this like a week? Like they don't give us any kind of range of time on how long this was or how long it took. And that was interesting. So Bobby commented saying, yeah, it seemed backwards how he is messing up throwing a shield after casually tossing it around with Bucky like he had it mastered. Yeah, that didn't make any sense at all to me. But, maybe he was trying to master it with, what? He was flipping. He said, let me flip and try to catch it. So maybe that's different. That's different when you're just standing there and you see it and you try to catch it. But now it's like, let me throw it, do a backflip, and then try to catch it, which was interesting. It's like, okay, all right. It just, it's good to get ready for any kind of situation. What if somebody try to sweep your leg and, hey, let me flip and catch the shield at the same time. So that was interesting. So he did a workout montage, and now he is in Captain America shape. And after 3 days of throwing and catching the shield, I guess, because I don't know how long this took. So anyway, Torres hits him up and calls him and say, "Hey man, I think I found out, and I think the GRC, I think that's the name of GRC has been rounding up and capturing." Oh, while all this is happening, let me kind of backtrack a little bit. Before talking about the GRC. Well, GRC is rounding up refugees. They're capturing all the refugees who basically helped Carly. And Carly has had enough. And she's like, they're taking all my friends. And, we are the people of the citizens of the earth. They can't kick us out and tell us to go back to our homelands. Screw them. And, her friend just like, well, what should we do? She was like, yeah, we gotta take them out. So forget it. We gonna do the plan, the master plan, the big plan that I've been holding off on. So it's like, all right, cool. So fast forward to Sharon. So now we see Sharon Carter. She's on the phone. She's talking to somebody, which this kind of doesn't make sense. But anyway, because I noticed this too. This is weird. So she's talking to this person. This person is speaking in French, right? And they're speaking back in French, and I guess they're upset at something she did. And she was just like, hey, when have I ever failed you? Or something like that. When have I always delivered? and blah, blah, blah. So I need something for you to do. And the guy is speaking in French some more, and she keeps speaking in English. That's the thing that's weird to me. It's like, if he's speaking in French, if he understands English, why doesn't he speak in English? Or why don't you speak in French? Y'all speaking in two completely different languages to each other, but you're understanding each other. But whatever. I don't know. That's just me being picky. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm picky, guys. But that's just kind of stupid to me. But anyway, so that had me kind of sit there and wonder at that moment. Because remember, before I said, I can't really see her being a power broker. Maybe she is. I don't know. Because that's kind of weird. Because they didn't really give any more context around it. And I was just like, all right, I guess. Anyway, going fast forward to Carly now. So Carly, like the GRC, I guess they're meeting in New York, and they're trying to come up with a vote on what they're going to do with the people, flag smashers, refugees. They're like, hey, we're going to send these people back to their homelands or whatever. Carly doesn't like it. And so she's like, yo, so, okay, I got some help. We finally got some help, and, this is how we're going to do it. Her friend's kind of unsure because he was like, well, I don't know. But then you see this dude walk up, the first guy that Sam fought in the first episode. It was on the plane that he was trying to capture the POW, and it was the leader of the guy with the wing suits. Conveniently, they had wing suits and they were dealing with Falcon. I don't know, but anyway, so this dude shows up and he was just like, yeah, I got a bone to pick with Sam. So all I want is Sam. I just want to kill him. And she just like, yeah, and telling her friend like, yeah, this is a dude that he has a grudge with Sam, so I'm going to give him Sam. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to kill him. And she just like, cool. And I'm just like, wait, whoa, wait a minute. Like, what? I thought you and Sam were cool. Sam tried to talk to you. Sam tried to be your friend. He did all this stuff. And all of a sudden, you cool with killing this person now? And what sad thing is, I was sitting there thinking like, man, you know what? Zemo is kind of right. She's a lost cause at this point. You trash. You a trash person. And Sam's sitting there trying to help you out. And you just cool. Yeah, this person want to kill him. It's cool. Kill Sam. You bitch. That's like, I'm sorry. Excuse my French. But that was my French. And I'll tell you what else was interesting. The dude that came up, the first guy, he started speaking French. And I was just like, oh, snap. Is that the dude that Sharon was talking to? So now at this point, and let me know your thoughts. I have two different things that come into my mind at this point. So either this person is okay, so let's say Sharon called this guy, if this is the same guy, but I mean, maybe that's why he was speaking French this whole time. So maybe Sharon called this dude, and this is the guy that Sam fought in the first episode. Sharon called him and said, hey, I need you to do something. Hey, I'm gonna deliver. When have I not delivered? So either she is the bad guy, like basically working against, saying like she's really a bad guy or something like that, and she's saying she's going to deliver. So maybe she's trying to deliver Sam, but also she's trying to get at Carly, because I feel like that's her goal too, to get at Carly. I mean, if that's the case, maybe she is a power broker, because a power broker, it really wants Carly dead, I guess, because it stole the serum, stole all the stuff left. So either she's using him to get Carly because she's a power broker, and it's really not about Sam at that point, because maybe she feels Sam can handle himself, and I just want Carly dead or whatever because I'm the power broker. That's one theory. Second theory is she is using this dude to say, I want to get at Sam and I want to work with you, in the sense to trick her into thinking that he's helping her to get her plans done and to get Sam, but really it's to stop her and bring her in and to stop the flag smashers. So it's a double play, and she's not the power broker, but she's helping Sam stop Carly by using a villain. It's confusing. It's really confusing. I don't know. Those are my theories, if that made sense. So either she's a power broker that's trying to get at Carly, and she doesn't really care about giving up Sam because, hey, you can have Sam too. Or she's really helping Sam by trying to take down Carly, and she's not the power broker. And that goes back to what Monica, who's watching, she said earlier, that a lot of info, hey, you're right, a lot of info is going to be introduced. You're going to be rushing the last episode. So it's interesting. It's like, where is this going from here? But anyway, So that's all that's happening, and as Torres is telling Sam what's going on and all this stuff, Sam sees that the GRC is having their stuff in New York, and he said, I saw a ping in New York and all this stuff. So Sam puts it together. Oh, they're trying to take out the GRC. So he's like, all right, I got to suit up and become Captain America and all this stuff. So he finally goes to the thing that Bucky gave him, and he opens up the case. We don't see what's in the case, but I'm pretty sure it's new wings because, I guess like a new suit, wings, something like that. So it's fully new Captain America with wings, with new wings. And the end of that is even like sort of the mid credits roll is we see John Walker working on a new shield. He's in there, he's smithing away and he's hammering at his new shield and he's trying to work. It's like, oh snap, he's on his way to becoming U.S. agent. So at this point, I don't know if John Walker is going to show back up in the 6th episode, or this will be something that he's just going to show up later on some other, in a movie, maybe on another episode or something like that. I don't know. They could bring John Walker back into the fold, and probably so because John Walker's he went to go see Lamar's parents, and he lied to the parents saying that he took down a person, he brought the person to justice who killed Lamar. He didn't because Carly's still out there. So I'm pretty sure John Walker is going to be in the 6th episode, and maybe he's going to try to go after Carly and kill her. So it's going to be like this big mess of people. Power broker, the original villain that Sam stopped in the 1st episode, French man, French villain, power broker, Carly, and John Walker. So it's only Sam and Bucky against 4 people. And potentially more, because you got the other super soldiers too with Carly. I think Sam needs to take that serum. So I hope there's some serum in that case, along with some new wings, because I don't know how. I mean, he got the shield, but is that enough to take down? Man, you going against super soldiers, John Walker, who's another super soldier, and whoever Power Broker is. I don't, man. That's too much, man. You need to take the serum. Take it. Take the power. Just do it, man. Anyway, so Bobby commented, yes, probably the Wakanda wingsuit for Sam. Torres is going to be the new Falcon too. So now we're going to have a black Captain America and I don't know what he is. Maybe he's Cuban. Maybe he's Hispanic. I'll say a Hispanic Falcon. It's interesting. We'll see. I'll be interested in seeing that. I hope Torres is able to show up in the 60s because they're going to need help unless Torres is kind of like Lamar and he just shows up and get his butt whooped. But anyway, that's the story, man. Let me go ahead and just get right into what I thought. Because there was a lot going on in this episode. A lot of different storylines happening at one time. All right, acting and casting. What did I think? I thought that overall acting and casting was good. I mean, they're doing a good job. Wyatt Russell, who is playing John Walker, man, he's doing a great job. He's doing good. I know a lot of people hating on him as Cap, but he's doing a good job acting-wise, just as an actor. And I appreciate that because I'm an actor. I appreciate that. And that's just good storytelling. That's good acting. He's making you, and it shows a person that does a good job. If you hate the person in real life, they're doing a really good job. So you got to give it to, man. You got to give it to Wyatt Russell, man. He's doing good. I'm definitely looking forward to his acting career moving forward from there. I mean, he's not like super amazing, but he's doing good. He's doing good. So ultimately, what I give the acting and casting in this, because I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I give it 4 reels. 4 reels for acting and casting. Did a good job. So moving on from acting and casting, going into story. What did I think about the story? So the story was good. I would give it 4 reels. I would, but I have to knock it because of some stuff that wasn't making sense that I mentioned before, like Sam being able to handle the shield, but he seemed to struggle with the shield. So visually, that didn't make much sense. Also with Bucky just immediately just opening up and yeah, man, I'm having nightmares and blah blah blah. This is why all this stuff that they had so much issue struggling trying to just open up to each other and just say how they feel. Now they can just easily do it, and it's just like there wasn't any kind of resistance at all. Like, yeah, man, this is how I feel. Oh yeah, well then this is how I feel. Oh yeah, I'm glad we're friends. Handshake, and it's just like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like that's rushed. You're rushing that because this is like the second to last episode, which it should have been better explained as them slowly starting and opening up to each other more and more and more as the episodes go along. But they kept like going back and forth, like they make progress and then they go all the way back here and then they move forward again and then go back here. And it's just like, what is the deal? What is it like? And also still with Sam being like, I'm Mr. Funny Man, but then also I'm tough and I'm guarded and I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to be nothing's funny right now. But now I'm cracking jokes again, and I'm guarded and I'm tough again. It's like that stuff doesn't make sense. Like that makes no sense at all. I see Bucky being closed off and guarded and all this stuff. I don't see why Sam would be so closed off and guarded too at times, and then other times, hey, I'm Mr. Jokester. I want to crack jokes and hey, let's be friends. And then all of a sudden, it's like he's bipolar. Like they've written him to be bipolar in a sense, and that makes no sense, right? Unless he is bipolar, then I guess I can't. But they didn't mention that. He didn't. I suffer with by being bipolar. He's never said that. So I give it 3.5 reels. 3.5 reels for the story. And everything is kind of being rushed a little bit, and certain stuff still isn't making too much sense here and there. But whatever, it's still good. It's still good. 3.5 reels. Going into budget and marketing, one thing about budget and marketing, it was good. The fight scene at the beginning was amazing. I have my issues with it, of course, as I mentioned earlier, as Bucky should have been fighting better, but that has nothing to do with budgeting and marketing. That was good. Wakandans being there and taking, you seeing their ship in the background, that was good. Everything was good, and being at the boat, all of this stuff was good. And so I give that overall 3.5 reels. So if you compile all the stuff together, like what do I give this, with the overall score? And I need a drum roll. So Monkey, could you please, let me get rid of my ratings and all this stuff. Sorry, Monkey, can you please give me the drum roll? Thank you, Monkey. So with my overall score for this, with everything all together, I give it averages out to 3.5 reels. 3.5 reels for this episode. This was a good episode. This was a solid episode, solid entry. I think they can. Hopefully they get to watch it. If y'all share this, they can see what I think, and maybe they can start writing better. I don't know. Just share this video so that more people can see. But I think that overall, Falcon and Winter Soldier could, in WandaVision 2, they can work with better pacing and better writing, stuff that makes sense. Like, not that it doesn't make sense, but there's stuff that just like, that doesn't make sense. Storytelling gets a little sloppy here and there. Overall, they're doing a good job, but they can do better. And I want them to do better. I want this to be as good and as great as it can be. So take your time, stop rushing and having characters do stuff that doesn't make sense. And, yeah. But anyway, I didn't mean for this episode to be this long. And thank y'all for rocking with me, for watching for this long. But it's because so much stuff was happening in this episode that I had to break it down. So I do appreciate y'all tuning in. And Bobby wrote, yeah, why Russell killed it in this episode? That's great value, Cap. He said in an interview he's glad people hate his character, and that was his goal. He's a solid actor. And also Bobby mentions, oh yeah, artist share good review. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Bobby. I really do, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Also, if y'all want to help your boy out, help me out, you can request a review. For $1, I'll review one episode of your favorite show upon request. $5, I'll review a movie upon request. $10, I'll review an entire season of a TV show upon request. All you got to do is just go to anchor.fm/reelreview/support. Again, it's anchor.fm/reelreview/support. You can go and patronize there, or even if not even just that, if you just want, hey man, I appreciate what you're doing. This is a really great episode. Let me give you $1. Let me give you $5 or whatever. You don't even have to request anything. You just offer, because honestly, just being real, the more the more that y'all can contribute to this show, the more of these episodes I can do, because that means I don't have to go into work as much as I do and do so few of these. I mean, because I definitely would like to do more of this show, but I would need you to invest into this show in order for me to be able to do this. So I'll put the link there, anchor.fm/reelreview/support. If you want to go contribute $1, $5, or $10, leave a review if you want to. And Monica commented, good review. Said, thank you, Monica. You are awesome. Always tuning in. I got to give it to Monica. Monica's always tuning in and always giving her comments. And I appreciate her input, man. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all y'all watching. Again, if you want to support, go to anchor.fm/reelreview/support. I have this in podcast form as well. If you haven't caught up with the other episodes, you want to catch up with WandaVision all the way up to now, go listen to the podcast at Real Review with John F. Thomas. Again, that's Real Review with John F. Thomas. I am your host. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll see y'all next week as we talk about the last episode, the season finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Y'all have a good rest of the weekend and spread love and peace, man. I see y'all.